welcome back to another, well, I won't say an episode because it is the season 15 review, and we'll get into why I wouldn't say took a break, but we were kind of forced to take a break. But we're going to first of all, I'm going to show you where we technically ended off at. So, obviously, Legendary 3, I think I want to say around 4 days. I don't know if it was a glitch in the system or something, but we got relegated from FC Champion, obviously. And then things happened. Unseen. Basically, my phone broke and couldn't really access the game for about a week. So, as I'm coming into this game, I mean, this is like being recorded maybe, I want to say 2 days into the Ballon d'Or event. So, there's a lot of catching up, and we'll do that a little bit later in the episode. Maybe we'll save that for season 16. Because season 16, there's going to be, in terms of, it'll be interesting. But I'll get into that later. What we do want to do is wrap up the season 15. It did come to an unfortunate ending because we didn't really get to play all the matches that I thought we would have been able to play. And, I mean, to be fair, technically ending off in Legendary 1 isn't a bad way to end off. Unfortunate, but, I mean, at the exact same time, we were in FC Champion for almost all of it. It's unfortunate we didn't maintain it, but we are going to go look at the team, and I kind of forgot because I did make the one change. As you guys can see, we're not going to talk about him. We'll talk about the guy who was in that spot for him. But here we go. We get into the season 15 review. A great season. I'd say biggest success. We completed the journey from amateur 3 to FC Champion. Took us about 3 days. Took a lot of work, but in the end was all worth it. But yeah, let's begin with this review. And yeah, let's go over the awards. So first of all, Player of the Month. This goes to the player who had the most man of the matches. They obviously will wear the captain's armband for next season, and that is Diogo Jota. What a season, what a signing he's been. Let me just read out his stats. 299 goals this season. That is, let's see, 25 more goals than, or actually, 25 more goals than the guy who replaced Eusebio. That is 19 more goals than Kylian Mbappe, who had the record for the most goals in the season. So Jota, record-breaking season for him. He was tremendous in it. And you know what? I mean, he had, when we started recording hat-tricks, he probably had more than this, but 5 hat-tricks that we at least recorded. One game where he actually scored 4 goals. I just put that in just because, I mean, it's a joke. He was a joke this season. 149 assists and 104 man of the matches, and that includes 8 perfect ratings. 8 10.0s. He was by far the best player on the pitch, time after time after time. No denying that whatsoever. Now we move on to his strike partner, Kylian Mbappe, who, I don't know. He only scored 5 less goals. He had 4 hat-tricks. But, I mean, we talk about the assists. I mean, he actually was our playmaker. He won the Playmaker Award with 185 assists, which is close. I mean, 39 more assists than he had last season. So, I mean, you took off 5 goals for 39 assists. I'm okay with that, you know. Obviously, we love him to be the top scorer, but, I mean, the role he played, I wouldn't say second striker, but, I mean, yeah. I mean, having the most assists, it's not easy to do, especially when you have the guy behind him that we're about to talk about, Zico. I mean, yeah, he had a great season as well, and, you know, when we look at the average ratings, Jota on a 7.12 and Kylian Mbappe on a 7.11. These two were electric throughout the season, really carried us through some difficult times, so can't really be mad at them. I mean, They were, I mean, I know the stats it might look like that Jota was a little bit better because he had a lot more man the matches. But, I mean, to me, I think they were 1-2. I wouldn't say they were 1-1. I mean, either one of them could have had their days. Great striking combo. If you're looking for what apparently that was a cheap combo. I'm not really. I know the Ballon d'Or event, and we'll talk about it in the next technically episode, but in season 16, the market crashed. So there's a lot of interesting things I had to go through. But I mean, a 7.1 and Mbappe had a 7.1 or a 7.2 for Jota, a 7.11 for Mbappe. I mean, lethal striking duo. What can you say? The guy behind them, Zico, 6.94. In terms of goals and outputs, he actually did manage to record a hat trick. That was interesting enough. But I mean, in terms of goals and assists, he did his job. I mean, increased his goals to 183, had 171 assists. I mean, I think, yeah, both of those were better than last season, so you can't blame him. 51 man the matches. He was one of our big moment players. He really lived up for the big games, and he was there to deliver points. Now, obviously, he wasn't here last season. In his role was Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes stepped up. I'll be completely real. The first half of the season, he stepped up. Delivered time after time. I think you guys saw it on camera so many times. I mean, last season, 65 goals. This technically it's last season, but season 15, 87 goals, 118 assists, 27 man of the matches. We asked him to step up his last season for the club, and he did just that. What a performance he had. I mean, what a player he was for this club. But moving on to the guy right beside him, and Fabian Ruiz. He just continues to set new records for himself. 101 goals, and that does include a hat trick. I mean, first of all, the fact that he broke 100 goals in his season is crazy. That's just mental to me. And to pair it all off, I mean, we talked about how great of a first half Bruno Fernandes has. I mean, obviously it wasn't recorded as much, but his second half season was amazing, I'd say. 119 assists, just edging out his partner by 1 assist. And 29 man of the matches, really stepped up. Had a slow start, but when it came to it, he found he was able to create chances. It might be a little bit more toward the system, but the next player is very interesting. Rodri. Last season, I wasn't necessarily too happy with him. This season, 42 goals, 79 assists, 9 man of the matches. He was the difference maker. And I'll be completely real, it wasn't just the GA, it wasn't just the attacking. What did it for me was this defending this season. Incredible defending. I think we found a system where he really excels in. And my goodness, he is one of the best. I mean, when he's on it, he's one of the best. To me, right now, one of the best seeing him in this game still. And it shows. I mean, just unbelievable performances time after time after time. To me, if there's I won't say the rightful Ballon d'Or winner, but Ballon d'Or winner. He had a Ballon d'Or winner season to me. We move on to the left side, Mojica. This was a very interesting season for him because I want to check how many goals he had last season. To be honest, attacking wise, this was one of the few seasons we didn't see him kind of bombing up forward as much. He kind of played like a left wing back, and it was more due to the system, but kind of limited in his attacking role, really, because Jota's not really the type of striker that I think we had Eusebio, and Eusebio loved to drop deep, and Mojica would make the overlapping runs, but Jota kind of was a guy. He drops deep a little bit, but for the most part, didn't really come to collect the ball. Really uses pace, and that's what we needed from him. And it meant that Mohico couldn't have as big of an impact as he had. Obviously, his assists went down quite a lot because we took him off. Not we took him. We limited to only taking corners off of one side, which obviously limits his assist abilities. But I will say, his assists to Blank on corners, that's a deadly duo, and we'll talk about them later. But we're gonna, instead of going down the line, we're gonna go to the other fullback, Puyo, who had one of his best seasons yet, I would say. In terms of attacking, great. In terms of defending, even better. I think this is a season he redeemed himself for last season. Really, really. I mean, he was just able to do it all. Obviously, the assists got boosted because of corners, but in terms of goal scoring, I mean, he outscored Mojica. You're not going to see that very often, but he was able to get into those positions and help us out quite a lot. That's something we needed. We'll go to the guy to the left of him in Blank, who had a pretty, in terms of goal scoring, he had a good season. 18 goals, kind of boosted by the fact that he took penalties, so deal with that what you will. I think he probably had like 10 penalties. He didn't have a crazy success rate either, so either way, I just felt like, to me, Blank, superb season. Defending wise, superb. Attacking wise, was really good in set pieces. Really good in set pieces. But yeah, defending was good. But my guy right here, Mascherano, was a beast. You talk about sliding challenges. You talk about last man defending. He was a beast in this game. And to be honest, wow. Didn't have the GA, but I mean, his defending, I mean, constantly he found himself in battles with taller guys. He's like 5'8", I think, so. And the big thing to me, he was winning the ball up here, over here, everywhere. He could win the ball. So, I mean, that's a big thing. He really helped us start counters a lot, especially when we were toward the beginning of the season when we did play counter football. But what I was really impressed with, obviously played in Barcelona for some time, so his ability to play out the back was almost, didn't really make a lot of mistakes, really calm on the ball, and could actually kind of dribble pass through the press quite often. He did that quite often. Very good at being the press. Very good center back indeed. And obviously goalkeeper Kobo. To be honest, subpar. Again, goalies in FC Mobile aren't really gonna win you matches. In versus attack, they will. Head-to-head manager mode, not as much. But I did feel like he did have a better, obviously better card. I think he had a better season last time. There's still stuff he could improve on, but in terms of claiming crosses, he was good at that, but I don't really think that made too much of a difference in our team. But anyways, there you go. Season 15 is over. It came to an unfortunate ending, so if you're wondering why I haven't been posting, that's kind of the reason I haven't been able to post, but we kind of got to get back on track with this game. Obviously, we've got a lot of catching up to do. Missing a week, kind of huge in terms of the new events and stuff like that. So we're probably going to grind out a little bit before we head back into manager mode. But we will be back soon. Anyways, that's it for season 15. And I'll see you guys next season. Peace.